Hey, 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 welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Today's guest is Jackie Durfee from Jackie Durfee and Associates Real Estate in Middletown, Rhode Island. How you doing today, Jackie?
Good. How are you?
Nice to have you finally on the show. And I just you know, I know a little bit about you, but there's one thing I want to say is that very impressive with all that you're doing, your family, your business. It's great. And I remember you telling me you're the only Cape Verdean broker in Rhode Island. That's very impressive.
That I know of.
That you know of, all right? That's all
There
that
could be one
matters.
hidden.
That's all that matters, right?
Right.
But so um, I'm like I said, I'm glad to have you here. We what we want to do here on the Really Charlie podcast is just basically highlight you, highlight your business, and get the word out there. It's just another avenue. I know you do your advertisement. You know, you're doing your, you know, uh, what I want to say. You're doing your outreach. Trying to get your business out there. But I want to do it here on the Really Charlie podcast. For so people would know who you are and actually reach out to you, and perhaps you and them could sell or buy some houses in the future. So.
Yeah, I love what I do. I wish I did this a long time ago, but I was more focused on getting my law degree. So for years, I spent in the legal field as a paralegal, legal secretary, 28 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I
Right.
started, I left home, went to Katie Gibbs, and then I started at a small law firm in Boston, and then I worked my way up to the bigger law firms, and then I think I was in three big law firms um, throughout the years, and then I decided that I want to dabble in real estate, see how it is, because I always wanted to be a realtor as well. But I just
Hmm.
thought everyone always say, "Oh, if you're a realtor, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to go anywhere. You got to have
Yeah.
a backup job." So it was
Hmm.
always on the bottom of my list. And I really tried to focus on my education first and try to get my degrees set. But it was kind of hard because with that, I had children at the same time.
Hmm.
So juggling school, work, kids, husband, it was kind of tough for me. But if I could do it, anybody else can.
That's it. Married with children and also, very educated. So it takes a lot. I remember when I was going, to college and then trying to maintain the house, the family, and all that. It kind of gets difficult. Um, I found out my best time to study was after midnight. That was the best time.
Yeah, and it is. It's the best time. I mean, me for myself, commuting back and forth to work in Boston was the most grueling part of the day.
Yeah,
Sometimes it took 3 hours or 4 hours, going. I mean, you spent most of your time on the road just to get to work. So
exactly.
I did that for years, years. So, and then on top of it, to add college to it, I got my paralegal degree from BU. So studying was, I mean, difficult. Um, with having kids, taking care of them, bringing them back and forth to sports or after school things, and then taking an exam online, and just
Wow.
Um, so that was tough. But I think the toughest was when I decided to get my bachelor's degree because I didn't have that. I had certificates, certificate in studies, certificate in legal, secretarial, executive secretarial. So it was a goal to get a bachelor's degree. My sister Nancy got hers from Norfolk State. And then my sister Susan came down to live with me and decided to go back to school and finish. I think she only had a year left in college. She said, "Why don't you try Rhode Island College?"
That's
So
awesome.
I applied at Rhode Island College and got in, and that's where I spent many years.
Wow.
I said it was going to be a 5-year plan, but it took longer than 5 years to finish. Actually, I graduated in 2017 with my bachelor's in justice studies and minor in business management.
Awesome.
So, and that's a struggle because, again, I have 4 kids. So trying to squeeze all that in exams and try to make ends meet by working as well, 2 jobs, because like I said, I worked at the law firms, plus did real estate on the weekends and sometimes after work. So it's a lot of work, but I'm happy to be where I'm at today, because if I didn't do any of that and was motivated, I wouldn't be here right now.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Very impressive. I love it. Um, Jackie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you on the screen. I just want you to talk about your business, and then I'm going to come back on the screen. I want you just to talk to our audience. Is that okay?
That's okay.
All right. 1 second here. Just talk about your business address, the address on the screen, the website, but
Yeah, we just changed the name to Jackie Durfee Real Estate. We're located at 55 John Clark Road in Middletown, Rhode Island. Um, I started my own brokerage back in 2000, well, technically 2019, right before 2020 started. And basically, obviously, we had the pandemic hit at the same time, but I went on my own and started the business trying to focus a lot on Mass, Rhode Island, and Connecticut real estate. So I am a broker in all 3 states. So my agents are in all 3 states licensed. And we do residential, commercial, condos, land. Surprisingly, we do a lot of farmland and coastal land properties as well. And I myself live on a farm. So it's great to work with others purchasing a property that they want to build into a homestead. So I do a lot of focus on that as well. Um,
awesome.
yeah, I'm in Tiverton, Rhode Island. So there's a lot of different types of land and properties here. We're by the water, so we have both worlds, if you can say that. Um,
Hmm.
you know, a lot of land in itself, forestry, but we also have the views of the Seconic River and the bay. So you have the ocean views, water views, close to the beaches. So it's beautiful here. I love it. Um, and properties right now, we're looking for sellers because it's actually a seller's market right now. We have lots of buyers, but
Hmm.
properties, the inventory is very low everywhere.
Wow.
Not just in Tiverton, not in Little Compton or Newport area, but all over in Rhode Island. I mean, I have a client looking in Pawtucket. Every time we put an offer in, we get outbidded.
Hmm.
um, Same with Warwick as well. In Massachusetts, we listed a couple of properties. Same thing. I
Wow.
mean, it was sold in one day. We had offers in one day. So it's kind of a crazy market in every state that you can think of. I mean, the percentage is high as far as real estate goes, uh, compared to a few years ago. Now,
Okay.
you know, people saying it's because of the pandemic. People are leaving the city, going outskirts, looking for land. Um, so it's it's very low. Right now, I have a new client that is looking in the Dartmouth area, and There is nothing in her price
Wow.
range. Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
So
Jackie, what I want to do is ask you to go on my profile on Facebook, share the page, the live feed right now. That broadens our audience.
sure.
It allows your friends and the family to come on and comment, and that way we get a large variety of people.
On your page or the
It should be on my page, yeah. Either,
ah
and just click share. And I'm gonna suggest to everybody else that's viewing us, listening to us, also share the live feed so we can get you know a bigger audience, and that way friends of Jackie's, friends of mine can all comment, friends of yours, family can comment too. Um, so what's the biggest other than what you just said, the inventory, what's the hardest obstacle when it comes to real estate? Knowing
uh
as
well,
far as
trying to find a home, the perfect home for your clients right now, it's difficult because you're low in inventory. There's not much of a, I guess you may say, a balance. Usually there's a balance of what they could choose from, and there may be a couple of things on their list that they don't or can't get. They may want 2 bathrooms, but instead they had to settle for 1 bathroom. And even those choices are difficult now because of inventory. So that's the biggest thing, is trying to find their home, their dream home. And I think it's prices. The prices right now are outrageously
Mhm,
high, so if someone is looking in the 200,000 range, let's give that an example,
mhm,
they have a tough shot right now finding, because in that bracket there's hundreds of buyers, and inventory in that price range is really next to none.
wow,
So you're talking about properties being close to 400,000 and up that is available, and even
mhm,
those are scarce.
yeah, wow, yeah. I trying to encourage my family, kids, everybody to get property, own property before they get too old. Do it now at a young age, and you know that's what I'm trying to encourage. Property is wealth, and if you get some,
Exactly. It's
so
They need to start early on and build a cash flow. It's equity. Many people, oops, many people don't realize that they're able to purchase. Many times they think they can't. Well, they feel real estate is untouchable. They can't touch it. So I know a few people that have rented for 30 years in the same apartment. And I always tell them jokingly, you just paid your landlord's mortgage for that place. You were
yeah, you are you are the unofficial owner of their property.
when they could have built that wealth on their own. Like
Mm,
right now, if they were to sell it, they would have made good money. It's like a retirement plan, basically.
so
I
true.
know my family, they buy homes and whatever and save, and it's their retirement plan. Later on, they'll sell it and buy something of less, and then they have this money saved up for vacations or whatever when they retire. They they work so hard for it, and now they have this option to downsize their house. So they'll downsize, get something smaller, and able to do these things they weren't able to do before when they were working.
So true.
So I always say, you come up with a plan, and real estate is one of the biggest plans you can do. And talk to someone about it. First, start with a realtor. They can point you in the right direction. I always guide my clients to where they need to go in order to start the process. So it's always a loan officer, a mortgage broker. You speak with them and discuss, how and where to start with their plan on purchasing. And they'll let them know because they'll look and see what their finances are, what their debt is. So, debt to income ratio is one of the biggest problems with many
Hmm.
of people who are trying to purchase a property. So, if they have that understanding that, okay, I need to clear up some debt, bring that down a little bit, I am able to purchase. But as soon as they hear, oh gosh, I have credit cards, I have this, I can't buy.
Hmm.
I mean, you have credit. You need that. You need the
Yeah.
credit cards. It's just they look at how much debt you're in. And the other biggest problem is too is student loans, like I have it and everyone else does. They think they can't purchase a property because they have a student loan. That's false. You could still buy a home even if you have a student loan.
Awesome.
Again, it goes by debt to income ratio. So you got to speak to a mortgage broker and kind of break down on what is needed and what you need to do in order to purchase a property. And I think that's the biggest obstacle. But I mean, with your rent versus buying a home, they feel rent is easy. But then again, rent prices are going so high, people are unable to afford it. Buying a house is similar pricing to compare with rental. Some folks are paying 14, 1,500, 1,600. They could buy a house for that price.
Yeah, taxes, as the taxes on the properties went up in the past couple of years, that means the rent's going to go up. No one's,
Correct.
landlord doesn't want to be coming out of their own pocket. They want their rentees or their tenants to be paying the mortgage off and not themselves. So I get that. Um, the best thing is, well, everything that you just said is pretty much what I'm trying to tell my family, and so I'm gonna use your video footage. I'm
So they
gonna
can see what
uh,
they can do.
I'm gonna use it well. I can't wait. Um, so as far as your business, family is there are other family members involved? Just you? Um,
So my sister is a sales associate for my firm. Um, and she's been in this business longer than I actually. She got her license before me. So my sister Nancy.
okay,
And she's been in the business since I think it's 2003, if I'm not mistaken, either 3 or 2005. So she's been in it in a long time. Um,
good.
and so we both started at Keller Williams. Um, and that's where we started. So she's been with Keller Williams till she joined me. But I started at Keller Williams Real Estate in Plainville. I
Hmm.
worked with the principal broker there was Tom Lennon. He's awesome.
Awesome. Good.
He showed me everything I know. And so, guidance is key. When you have that mentor that gets you where you need to be in the real estate, you become successful. If you don't have that great mentor, it's kind of hard because then you're misguided. You go into this process not knowing anything about real estate. Like, even
Yeah.
if you take the classes and you pass, you still need education in it. You need to continue your education by having mentors uh, guide you through the process, because just going in there, how are you going to do a contract, make up an offer? How are
Exactly.
you going to negotiate? So there's a lot of things to real estate. I mean, anyone can try it out and become a realtor, but it's all how you process the whole thing. Um,
Exactly.
you just can't jump in there and just go.
No. And it's good to have the mentors because it cuts down on that trial and error, a little bit. If you end up doing it by yourself, you're going to end up making mistakes, which may make you look bad, or maybe someone doesn't see it, but at least a mentor can kind of, guide you, dot the I's, cross the T's, help you out a little bit, and kind of bring you along the way.
Yeah, it's a big process. It's years of learning and education. So I'm big on continuing education because you need that. You need that guidance and also hearing others on what they go through and how they go through the process. Um, Real estate is a big thing. You need to know the language, you need to know the terms, you need to know the definitions. Um, and it's not simple. You need to know the laws, key,
Mhm.
the laws. So it's similar to being an attorney, but you're not an attorney.
Yes,
You don't work with clients on that level, but you still need to know the laws.
I,
So
I've
um,
I've noticed that there's a lot of acronyms in real estate, and
correct.
you gotta kind of catch on to those. Makes it a little bit easier for you, but where someone's saying you got to get an ABCD and a ABC, and you're like, what? A what? And so,
Well,
but
the
I,
code of ethics is the biggest thing in real estate.
hmm
You have to follow the code of ethics. It's key to maintaining everything about being a realtor.
yes,
So, and that's why I say education and mentoring and all of this is very important because the slightest mistake that you make can be one of the biggest mistakes ever.
exactly.
And yeah, you can end up losing your license. It's a serious thing.
So true. So true.
Um, so, you, jumping into it is great, but you have to always make sure you are guided in the right direction. So it's a big responsibility being a broker,
Right.
but I love it. I love educating others. I love guiding others to becoming successful in the industry. Key is having clients come back and say, you were awesome. You were great. I felt secure. I felt great trying to get this transaction done. I felt great buying a home. Um, and that's very important. Or even selling. Selling is difficult. You have a lot of documentation and protocols you have to go through. So others see that you've done well, they're going to call you back again or refer you to others. I mean, my
Mhm.
system basically is done by just referrals. Everyone I get is referrals.
Wow.
And many clients call me back to sell their home that I sold to them
hmm
and find them a new home. So, and that's a rapport that you want to build.
So true.
And and it's very key and very important.
I that was pretty much a lot of over my life. Rapport and communication, networking. Those are the things that I always try to do in each and every career that I had, and I try to. Networking is so important, and you know, so in real estate, I assume it's the same thing. Where you can could just call someone and say, "Hey, look, I know you know this area. This area, can you give me some? Give me a heads up on a couple of properties that may be in your town. I'm looking for this, or even perhaps buy or sell or whatever you're looking for." So, but I'm talking out of my expertise. So the I'm glad that I had you on this program, and I really want to make sure that I get you out there quite frequently on my page, on my podcast, and if there's things that you're doing, maybe video, an event, anything like that, please let me know so I can actually throw it on the podcast or on the Really Charlie group. It's all about networking, and that's what I'm trying to do for you. And
I appreciate that. Thank you.
there's many other things that you and I got to talk about too in the future. So I can't wait until all these restrictions are gone.
I know it's different. I used to go to many events, many networking events, um, and now it's over a year and haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
I like meeting new people, learning new things because you learn something new every day. So it's exciting when you meet people and you see what they're doing and how they've become successful because everyone does it differently.
Yeah. I think the one positive about this, pandemic, it definitely got people um, more comfortable with the computers, electronic, virtual stuff, and to me, that's the direction we've been headed for a couple of decades now. But people just kind of fluffed it off. So, with the pandemic, we were able to, you know, do a Zoom call, click on a link, all that stuff, So it was that's the positive thing. But I really want to meet and greet with people again, and I can't wait. Cannot
Yeah,
wait.
same here. Same here. I can't wait to see people, and being a realtor, we usually have big events. Like we'll have some events down the Cape, um, up north, New Hampshire as well. There's like a lot of events that they will have around the country. Haven't gone anywhere. I'm kind of itching to, but I'm part of four or five organizations. I like to go to them, but it's kind of difficult when
Sure.
there's nothing going on now. But you feel like you're missing things, and it figures it happens when
Yeah,
I do my brokerage.
that's all right.
And when I first started going on my own, it was just going to be me.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh, I guess I'll bring in a couple of agents." And now here I am.
Um, and you're going to be here for a long time. This is definitely
Thanks.
going to be something that you're going to be doing. To me, I think you're committed to anything that you do. And this is only going to get bigger and better for you. I know that. I put my money on it. So,
Yes. So I will be opening up a Westport office um, in a few weeks. So
okay.
I'll have a Massachusetts office and a Rhode Island office, and hopefully Connecticut as well soon.
Look at that. See that? You can, wow, you got family in each state anyways.
Exactly. I got to cover all the family.
Yeah, that's
Be a
right.
competition with all my cousin realtors,
Uh-huh.
realtors.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of family in this business. So I also have one of my other cousins who's a mentor to me, Charlie Lima. He's with Keller Williams. He's great. He's been doing this for so many years. I
Wow.
won't say how many. He'd probably kill me. But he does wonderful. He's based, his office is in Easton, but he does a lot of work in the Easton, Bridgewater area, Brockton. So he's been doing it for a very long time and has been very successful.
Awesome.
So it's great to see, especially my own family, do well. And I promote it. I want whoever wants to become one to do well, because it's our family name.
Exactly. Exactly. Uh,
Thanks.
someone says, I love your laugh. It reminds me of a strong woman in my family. God bless.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I worked hard to get where I'm at today. So definitely. And it's even harder for a woman in the industry. So just being your own boss, owning a business is tough as a woman.
Hmm.
Um, and never for it's just tough overall. And during this pandemic too, I kind of brought myself to say, oh my God, am I gonna be successful or fail? You're kind of scared because you don't know what's going to happen. Everything's shutting down. You don't know if clientele will come through the door. So you have to plan. You have to have a really good plan ahead for things like this. And I'm glad I survived all this and did very well during this time. So I can't complain, but there's many businesses in not just real estate or anybody else, but small businesses that have suffered. I mean, mine's considered small. I only have a few agents. I don't have hundreds of agents, so every penny counts on this industry, and you know, this is my only job.
Exactly.
So you kind of worry what's going to happen. But I've been lucky, so I can't complain, but I feel for the small businesses that have suffered through this pandemic, and there's a lot of businesses that closed down due to it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm trying to promote. I got a few small businesses that are going to come on within the next couple of weeks, and just want to promote that um, and help them out. You know, as
Yeah,
they
and that's what I did too. Like during Christmas time, a lot of the gifts I bought were from small businesses, you know, to help because they were suffering through this whole time. And it's sad to see these businesses close down
I
because
seen
they couldn't
yeah
make it.
I seen a post on Facebook, and someone was saying that remember the business that donated to your charity or your team, you know, and now they need your help. So go to those local businesses and give them, you know, whatever you're trying to spend, you know, from $20 to $100, something. Just
Makes a big difference.
yeah, just put it back in their register, and it helps out. So and every now and then, you know, a decent tip, you know, big tip, you know, goes a
Yep.
long way, you know. So
And even the restaurants, they suffered a lot
we sure
uh,
did.
during this time. So to see a lot of them close down, it's sad. There was a restaurant I always went to in Portsmouth, Reedy's, and they shut down. It was kind of sad because I loved their food. I loved
Hmm.
everyone that was there, very nice. And to see them not able to, you know, survive this, it's sad.
Sure is. But the graces of God, everybody should be praying. God does magic, so you know, a few prayers every day um, would definitely help out. At least that's my faith. Um, so, Jackie, I just want to, you know, tell you thank you, and if there's something you want to close in, we can do that. And also remember that you're always invited on the Really Charlie podcast.
Well, thank you, Charlie. And I hope to see everyone out there. If you're looking to buy a house or sell your home, give me a call anytime. You can reach me at 401-649-2596. You can also go to my website, jackiedurfee.com. Take a look at the homes that are available. Um, and I could put you in touch with one of my agents in areas in Mass, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. So give me a call and I'll guide you through the process.
Awesome. Well, we're always going to keep in touch. So I'll keep in touch. I'll pay attention to what you're doing, and I'll share as much as I can. But you need me, you have my number. You have, you know, give me
Thanks. And
a call.
also, before I forget, any Cabo Verdeans, chomang. and the papi Creole, and the falo Portugués también. All right, give me a call.
Awesome, awesome. That's nice. Nice to hear. All right, Jackie, I'll be talking to you, and
Thanks.
thank you for coming on the Really Charlie podcast.
All right, have a good night.
God bless you. Have a good
You
night. Also.
too. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye bye. All right. Awesome. 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 Good, strong business person. Definitely going to have your interest in heart. You know, so reach out to her. Jackie Durfee Associates in Middletown. Address is on the bottom of the page, the screen. And if you don't want to travel, feel free to go to her website, as she said, jackiedurfee.com. Thank you all. We've got another show tomorrow, another podcast tomorrow, 10 a.m. with Ayana Parent, author of Becoming Free, also a trainer out of Harwich. Great, great guest. So join me tomorrow on the Really Charlie podcast. Thank you and have a good night.